This is Vance and Mary, and today is March the 18th, 2023. And I hadn't done an update in quite some time, and I've got Charlie and Dude and Sue and Merle are visiting. The grand dogs are visiting. So, but that's the dog noise. But I wanted to give you an update on my weight, but that's just kind of the small part. I'm trying to win a contest at work, and so I haven't been posting my weigh-ins. I weighed 351 on Monday, so I'm doing pretty good. I've gotten down some, so I think I'm gonna do better this week. So I'm gonna wait till the end of the month and do a more polished video of the month. So I'm recording everything, but I'm gonna try to put together a video. So expect that out 1st of April about any weight loss I had in March. But what I want to talk to you about is Mary and I, more Mary than Mary, wants to go to a boat, to be on the water. I'm 58. I'm qualified to retire according to my pensions when I turn 60. So I've got till the end of next year, and I will be retirement eligible, whether I want to retire or not, as long as Dallas County keeps paying me. But I vested in both the Dallas County and the Ellis County retirement systems. Mary and I have been looking at houses and just watching them go up and up and up and up. And I mean, for a new house around here, it's $400,000 or $500,000, and it's $300,000 or $400,000 for a house that used to cost $150,000, $200,000. So I can't see me buying a house and retiring. I've already gone through financial issues because of the house that I tried to buy bigger than I could afford, and so I don't want to. I'm just this year digging myself out of that hole. I don't want to get back in there, so I am fighting buying a house, that I can't afford with all my might. The other thing is, I feel like I almost died this year with that double pneumonia and the infection from the knee surgery. So that's twice I've done that. 10 years ago, I was in ICU for 5 days with same pneumonia, fluid on the lungs. After the knee surgery, I was in ICU. Oh, I wasn't in ICU. I was in the hospital for a week with double pneumonia. I didn't know if I was gonna make it out of there. So that's twice I was in the hospital and I didn't know if I was gonna make it out. And I don't want it to be 3 strikes, you're out. And so my whole life water has always been part of my journey. And, I feel like I have this window. My left knee is tremendously better. My right knee still hurts, but I am in no hurry to go through what I've gone through this past year again. So I'm gonna put off the right knee as long as I can, and we're still hoping. I'm on antibiotics for life for the left one to try to keep the infection at bay. But anyway, that's my life. Mary and I are at a point where we've got to decide where we're gonna go from here. We've raised 3 beautiful, successful, independent kids, and they're all doing tremendously. Dug myself out of the IRS hole. Would you?
Grand dogs.
Yeah, here's one of the grand dogs. But just the fact that we've been renting for 10 years because of the IRS debt. We're not tied to any location. So I feel like a benefit of doing that is that we're free to roam about the country. And so I'm afraid this is my only health window to do that. So I am running to water as fast as I can. I'm trying to figure out how to get there and make it work. What I have to do is figure out how to survive until Social Security kicks in and how to cover the medical benefits, medical insurance until Medicare kicks in. And so those are the two things that I'm grappling with. But what I've decided, I do better when I have an adventure to work towards, like the big walk we did a few years ago when I was doing my weight loss. And so at first I thought I was going to go over to England and buy a narrow boat and live the rest of my life on a narrow boat, just putting from pub to pub drinking. But Mary, not a big fan of that, and I learned I can only stay there 6 months without leaving. So I'm having to rethink my plan. So I got to thinking, I said, well, do we have a canal system over here in America similar to the canal system they have in the UK? And I got to researching it, and I found the Great Loop. And I never knew this, but it is possible to circumnavigate the eastern half of the United States by boat and do it almost completely on the inside of the barrier islands, because you got the intercoastal coming up along the Texas coast, runs to Florida, and then on the other side of Florida you got the Atlantic intercoastal that runs up to Boston. You just got to get around Florida, or there's a way to get through Florida. But once you get up to Boston, if you cut across, there's canal systems that go through the Great Lakes, and you get all the way across over to the Mississippi River, and you can come down into the Mississippi River and come back down to the Gulf Coast. So it's called the Great Loop. You can do it, everybody at whatever pace you want, and it doesn't have to be done continuously, but they recommend taking about a year to do it. So I began thinking about boats for the Great Loop, and I called Gary, my cousin, and he says there's not enough sailable water on the loop to make a sailboat really feasible. He said he recommended doing a trawler, getting an old trawler that's been rebuilt and just gas and doing it, because he didn't think there was enough sailable waters. And he highly recommends that, but I don't think I want to do it without fuel. I want to do it either wind, rowing, or electric motor generated on the boat. Those are the way that I want to do it. And so I've been looking for a boat that I can row and sail that's small enough for Don and I. Don, I didn't say that, but Don's committed to doing it with me whenever we do it. But so I'm trying to find me a boat. So I'm putting it out there in the world and to the internet, and I'm looking for the best boat for this adventure and Mary is gonna follow in a truck and trailer and as support. And so she's not gonna be on the boat. So we don't have to live on the boat per se, but we do need some supplies and the ability to camp and get out of the weather. But I want it to be a rowboat, one with sliding seats, like a drop-in sliding seat row for 2 people, and then a way for those 2 people to get out of the weather and a way to sail when the winds and tides are appropriate for sailing. And so those are the parameters which I'm trying to figure it out. And I've narrowed it down to some boats, but I want to put it out there and see what y'all think about, what y'all thought about it. The boats that I really like so far There's a whaleboat C23. It's made in Belgium. That's one, but I haven't been able to get them to respond. There's a Gig Harbor up in Port Townsend, up on the northwest coast, and they make a melon seed, and that's my favorite shape and look, and a Voyager, which is a little bigger. The Salish Voyager is 17 foot, and the melon seed 16 and a half foot. And so I've learned that I got to get a big enough boat to hold Don and I and Surprise. And so I don't know if these are going to be big enough. The other boat I really like is called a Norse boat. And they're made up on an island up off of the northeast coast of Canada. And they make a 17 and a half boat that I really like. But they make a 21 and a half, but it's 20,000 more. There's no way on that. I emailed all these people begging for a free boat, and so far I haven't had any takers. All right, so we got the whaleboat, the Gig Harbor, the Norse boat. There's an Angus, a guy out of England, an Angus, it's like an expedition canoe or something like that. Expedition sailing and rowing canoe. And you can get plans and build it if you want to do it. But I found single rowing plans, but I hadn't found the tandem rowing yet for Don and I. And then there was one more that was, it's out of Hawaii. I can't remember the name. It's like Filipino or Filipino or something. I'm I'd have to look it up, but it's Hawaiian trimaran. So in this one, I'd have to look up. I'll put the name of it, but here it's like two kayak seats. You know, it's not sliding seats; it's more like a kayak seat, and then you've got the two amas to make it safe in the rough waters. So that we're looking for something we can row and sail and handle in rough waters by human power. So I'm asking for advice, ideals, people that's more knowledgeable than me. Anybody from these groups of people, and I'll get the name to this one. I think it's like an O23 or something. I can't remember. But this one I'd probably have to build. Oh, there's another one called a light boat out of France. It looks pretty interesting. But those are the 6 boats that I've kind of narrowed it down to. If I buy it, you can buy plans to build it. It would be like a double-ended dory, or even like a drift boat, like you get in fishing rivers. But that's my plan. I need advice. I need help. I want to retire and go do the Great Loop. and do it on human power or generate electricity, no fossil fuels. That's my goal. So tell me what you think. I'm putting it out there to the universe. We're going to start it. I'm going to put out fewer videos, and but try to make them a little polished, a little better quality. And I'm going to do a Patreon account and do some things to try to crowd fundraise the adventure. And then I'm going to keep a YouTube channel of all the explanations and why I'm doing things and how I'm doing it, and my thought processes along the way. And so this is what I'm hoping to do in retirement soon, at least for a while until we settle down. But I just truly feel that I'm in a window here when health and retirement are kind of all coming together, that I might can travel a little bit before health ties me down. So I really want to go do something. So think about it. Tell me your thoughts. If you know anything about boats or boat building, or you have any ideas of what might work. I was thinking, I was hoping it would haul about 1,200 pounds. So looking at some of the calculations, it might be a bigger boat than these. This one and this one is probably do it in the whale boat, but so I don't know, because Don and I, 300 pounds, close to it each. I'm 350, he's probably close to 300. So I figured we start at 600 pounds between us, and then hopefully 600 pounds will be enough to carry everything else that we need. So if that's not enough, let me know your thoughts, and I'll have to think about a bigger boat. But thank you. See you next time. Y'all gonna have to start calling me captain or sailor or something. I have to get me a big anchor tattooed on my chest over here now. So, all right, thank y'all.